Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be doing a flip through of my September spreads. Since it's officially spooky season, of course I had to whip out my pumpkin candle, and yes, the scent is already getting me in the mood for fall. First off though, let's do a flip through of my completed August spreads. Going down my TBR, I did a pretty decent job. Unfortunately, I never got my copy of Daughter of the Moon Goddess from the library. It still hasn't been returned, and I am filming this on September 7th. I also ended up pushing off Kingdom of Souls to this month because I only just recently bought a copy, and thankfully Project Hail Mary did roll over into September and I have just recently finished it. King of Fools got canceled because I unfortunately never finished 𝗖cieះHS, and that's still sitting on my currently reading shelf. Has not been picked up in many weeks, however. As for my favorite lines, this was nice and filled, which is not particularly surprising between Mona Awad, 𝗖cieះHS, and then Penny Reid's hilarity. This is a nice, beautifully filled favorite line spread. I don't know what my favorite is right now. A nice easy one, actually. Of course I love my neighbor. I just prefer to love my neighbor from afar. This one was in Beard Science by Penny Reid. Unfortunately, Annotate August was a little bit of a letdown. Did not get nearly as much of this bingo board filled as I would have liked, but still did pretty good. My page's red graph is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at how many days we topped 200. 6,200 pages was my ending page count for the month, and that is the highest page count I've ever had. My wrap-up also completely filled the page, and this is just so satisfying to look at. My official wrap-up video should already be out, so I'll put a link to that in the cards up above. On the opposite side with my statistics, this is also just looking absolutely gorgeous. I think you can tell that I was really in the mood for romance books, but mostly that is because of the Winston Brothers series. As for my favorites this month, I rewatched my favorite movie with my niece for the first time, Stick It, classic gymnastics movie. TV show, The Orville has officially taken over my life. I actually just recently got a sticker for my bottle that says, "Could you please open this jar of pickles for me?" which is something that the captain always says to my favorite character, Alara. Song was this random one that I found on Spotify called Splat by Connor Bryce. Shit is catchy. Favorite book? Officially, I had to label it All's Well by Mona Awad. It was just so good! I can't wait to buy a physical copy and analyze it, go through, annotate it. It's just, oh, so good. As for my favorite meal, I made my creamy tomato pasta twice this month, so definitely had to put that one down. And then, of course, for my favorite moment, hard to top Josh's and my 6th anniversary. Josh and I actually hung out with my niece and we took her to this little arcade. Josh won this little Green Lantern card and he gave it to me. I won this little sticker, but I gave my tickets to my niece. I officially started trying to print out covers this month. This was for the Final Book Support Club readathon, and thankfully I finished both of these. I'm not sure if I like this or not. I don't do a lot of printouts, but I might start trying to change that. We'll see. Then we have the Full Moon readathon spread. Unfortunately, I only finished 2 of these, and I realized after the fact I actually never did any of the activity prompts. Oops. So officially I didn't finish any of this, but at least the spread still looks good. And then this was the card Josh got me for our anniversary. He had kind of a Pokemon theme going on because he got me every rendition of Gen 3 of Pokemon for my Game Boy, and I love him for it. I am currently in the middle of doing a Nuzlocke on Sapphire. This is a little Polaroid, which includes my niece. She came over and we did makeup and she wanted to take one. Then over here was the start of the rom-com-a-thon. So I printed out the little bingo board. I checked off all of the spaces I completed. First off was Love and Other Disasters. I put in the cover for whenever I started the book, and then I would eventually fill it in, or in this case, slash it because I DNF'd that book whenever it was finished. Beard Science, Dial A for Aunties. I started during the readathon. I did not finish it during that readathon, however, so that's why it doesn't have a check mark, even though technically speaking, I did finish it last month. And then unfortunately, I did not count out correctly, so I had an extra page. But on to this month's spreads. As you saw in my TBR, I am partaking in Becca's Bookopoly-a-thon. I had to print out the board, then I went through and printed out all of the rolls I got. So these are the books that I'm going to be using to complete them. If you're interested in seeing me play this out, go watch my TBR. I'll link it in the cards. Obviously, I've already finished 1 book this month. editing Nat here. I just noticed that this says April. Not when I did it, not when I filmed it, but whilst editing, I finally realized that instead of September, I wrote April. I have no idea where April came from, but I ended up going in and making this correction. So now it says September, but I'm not gonna refilm this entire video. So sorry, you're gonna get a band-aid over this page. Okay, so this month, since I did like a very fill in all the empty space doodle theme last month, I decided to go for more simplistic, just kind of some boxes. I don't know, just like layered boxes. I saw something on Pinterest, and then I also kind of mixed it with an idea I got from Plant-Based Bride. As for the colors, I used the Coolers website to do a random color palette, and that's how I got greens and orange. As per usual, we got my calendar layout on this side, and then my TBR. I have a repeat of my book-off-a-thon and then some extras. Already, I have 2 new books that I didn't mention in my September TBR, but first is Beard in Hiding, which is 4.5 by Penny Reed and the Winston Brothers, and then Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, which turned out to be the pick for my book club I do with a few friends. Then we have my favorite lines page, and honestly, I wasn't sure if I liked this at first, but it's kind of grown on me. Like, it's got a pixel thing going on, and I actually really dig it. You know, it's just grown on me, even though it kind of bleeds through a little bit on the brain dump side, but we're not going to talk about that. As for my page's red graph already, unfortunately, we have a 0 for the month, but at least we also have one day where I surpassed 200 pages. Maybe this will be a decent month in comparison to last month. As I mentioned, I finished my rollover of Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and then I've also finished The Ravens. So not mentioned in my September TBR, I'm also going to be partaking in Wellness and Well-Read-a-thon. They have these different prompts which are based around working out stuff, being healthy, and you know, I thought that was a great idea. It's been a hot minute since I've been to the gym, so maybe this will be the week that I finally get back on top of that. For strength training, to read a book you're intimidated by, I'm going to be going with The Book of Accidents by Chuck Wendig because it is over 500 pages. HIIT, to read a short book, I think under 300 pages, I ended up going with Spider-Gwen Volume 2 because obviously a comic is shorter than 300 pages. For cardio, a fast-paced read. Currently I have A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallero down. I may end up changing this to Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, just depending on when I can get the audiobooks of each of these. Rest day or a comfort read will be Just Like Magic by Sarah Hogle because Sarah Hogle's books to me are so fun, so easy, so comforting. And then finally, workout playlist is to listen to a audiobook while you're working out. I usually listen to an audiobook every morning when I take Faith on a walk. That'll get done eventually with one of them. I'm not sure which. And then on to my favorites page, which this didn't turn out great. I was relying on my stencil a lot. I was trying to think of like creative ways to do the boxes and rectangles again, and this is what we got. Seeing as how I'm filming this a little late, I already have an entry or two. First off, you can see I went to medieval times with some friends who came to visit, and it was so much fun. That's all we've got for now, but thank you so much for coming to my channel today, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I have all my socials linked in the description if you're interested in keeping up with what I am reading. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!